All right, here we go. Last test, 48 pill. I just decided to hook my striker in line. I got it hooked to a little 7-amp power supply. I got my my variable peak like cut way on down. This radio, let me go and show you radio drive. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. Let me cut this box off right here. Let me take this prod and put it in standby here. Let me take and find me a 100 or 50 watt slug, that'd be fine. So let's show what kind of PEP and average we're putting in. So PEP right here, we're gonna modulate that, 50 watt peak in the center scale. We are modulated to 28 peak watts. Yeehaw! All right, so now let's take this off right here, unplug this here. Then I'm going to take and put a 1,000 watt slug in. 1,000 watt slug right here. Hopefully everybody can keep up. 1,000 watt average output here. Got to cut this back on here, put this on high, modulate this bottom scale. We are doing 360 bird. 360 bird average output. We'll check our peak watts, see what kind of peak we're driving into this monster. And we are driving 810 peak, 810 peak watts. All right, so 810 peak, 340, 350 bird, whatever I said there. Take my 25,000 watt slug, 2 to 30 megahertz, coaxial dynamics, biggest slug they make for bird. It buries the 10,000 watt slug, trust me, it goes to the wall. So anyway, average output here, I'm on high here, radio's on here. Y'all seen the radio's only putting out, what do we say, 28 watts or so. This box is only putting out 800-ish. You could take a 48 pill and hit 1,500 to 2,000 even at elevated voltage into this thing. I am cruising this box. This box don't even know it's on. All the stages are super, you know, no heat, no problems. You know, I've been hammering on this thing for an hour without a fan on it. I've held my finger on here, 5,000 plus watts on every single stage and had no issues with heat. Been able to hold my finger while I'm modulating at over 5,000 watts. So now let's check our average output. I'm gonna flip this switch on right here real quick. Switch is on. This is on right here. It's in the high mode. Striker's driving in. I'm resting at 13.8 and probably dipping down to below 11 because I'm on a 7-amp little pyramid power supply. All right, so here we go. Average output. We're reading the top scale, 25,000 watts. So if we get to this 5 right here, it's 5,000 average, 7,500, 10,000. So we'll be looking around the 5. Guess around the average output's going to be. Call it 5,200 bird and the lights dim in the shop. All right, 5,200 bird average output. I'm gonna show peak numbers, see what kind of peak power we're making. That was 5,200 bird with 340 bird in. Well beyond 10 times, probably 15 times or better multiplication, which shows that the pill box has more headroom to go further. It can do more average, more watts. It can do much, much better with more drive. So PEP output, we're gonna check our peak watts. Again, this is 25,000 full deflection, 20 here, 15 there, 10 here. Look up around the 15 mark there, see what we got. Golly, 19,500 watts on this coaxial dynamics. 19,500 peak. You know, this sucker's, this is a monster. I would have never even expected this amount of output. Buries my 10,000 watt slug in the corner, and I got no other slug to test with. Coaxial dynamics is the biggest slug to make for 7/8 line section. But anyway, one more time, we're gonna watch that peak watts again. Had a text message come in, kind of blocked me up here. Let me make sure my radio didn't just, oh, I got it. All right, so this is still on here. Make sure it didn't buzz this thing out. All right, PEP. So what we got. All right, here we go. 19,500. Lights are dimming every time, ain't they? All right, so top scale here one more time. 5,500 bird average. 5,500 bird average, 19,000 peak. It is a monster. All right, fellas, that ought to be a good enough video to show the output test and how well this thing's doing. If it was making heat, I would be scared to touch my fingers on it. There is no heat on the combiners. They are all cool, just exactly like they're supposed to be with this monster output out. I'm not losing any combiner resistors, even though these will probably be taken off because most Danny 123 BBI, everybody pulls apart these resistors on the combiner because there's so much RF in this section specifically. But so far I haven't had to pull anything off, and I've been hammering this thing for over an hour with multiple different drive levels. But anyway, Fatboy, all Toshiba, all matching lot, never had a pill replace, 48 pills, Toshiba 2879s, 900 amp power supply, and driving with just a Pride DX300, just slow cruising this thing. Y'all take care.